Hello and welcome back to Critical Coffee Considerations. I realized that in the first episode I actually did not introduce myself. I am Francis Beck, a licensed philosopher and coffee enthusiast. I am 39 years old and a virgin in coffee roasting. So for this second project, I ordered a popcorn popper online, which we have here. So yet again, we get to enjoy some unboxing fun. So let's have a look at which popper I was able to purchase. So in the end I went for, I don't know if you can see it properly, but it says the Gadget Classics. I basically like the name. It sounds a little bit similar to Gaggia Classic. So that would be a good precursor to do some coffee roasting with. Now, I did try to order a different popper first. The Severin 3751 that I found online as being recommended for modding afterwards, when you also want to control the fan speed and the amount of heat that you are administering. Unfortunately, although I did order that one, the person or the company responsible for delivering cancelled my order. So after having seen a few videos on using a popper for coffee roasting, I felt confident enough about the basics when you're dealing with a popper, which is you should have a popper that doesn't blow up the heat from beneath but from the sides. And I could already see on the pictures before ordering that this was the case for this one. It's quite a cheap model, 20 euros 0.99. And I'm hoping that the cheap price also implies they didn't put in place a heat cutoff, which is some models they will stop functioning if the temperature goes above 200 degrees, for example. Then it becomes tricky to actually be able to do a good roast. But again, I actually don't really know what's supposed to happen. So let's just hope I don't burn down my house. What you of course need next to some heating device for your coffee beans is actual green, fresh, dried coffee. And I had a friend, Karel, that donated them for this show. So thank you, Karel. Let's maybe first have a look at the beans. Okay. It's not so easy finding a shop that sells you the green beans. He was able to get them at Simmenleveld. So here you go. That's how they look like. How do they feel? That's quite hard. It's what you expect, I guess, from something that dried. Okay, so let's just do this experiment with 50 grams. I have my multifunctional mug again. Anything but soup. Okay, here we go. Let's weigh 50 grams. Okay, let's be very precise. Okay, so while you're roasting it, the biggest part of the roasting process is getting rid of the water. And so what you have to be on the lookout for is a cracking sound. So not popping as with the popcorn, but cracking, which is the moment where the little bit of water inside of the coffee bean basically makes the bean explode and escapes. That is what's happening at the first crack. The second crack is when the CO2 buildup escapes. So in theory, you only have a total of 2 cracks. So let's get cracking. Okay. So in theory, you shouldn't try this at home, like me, not reading the instruction manual. But this is the problem with doing these unboxing videos. If you want to have it as authentic as possible, then there's no other choice. The most important thing while roasting is always watching your roasting device. So at least this time I'm getting straight. Okay, let's go. Next time. Okay. Now. So we're already seeing some chaff escaping. I will have to do a lot of cleanup here, I guess. So hopefully this won't take too much time. You can already see some yellowing of the beans, which is nice. It's the most important thing, and the reason why poppers are recommended is, as you can see, there is a lot of movement. On the one side, this is good to get, you know, also the chaff separated from the beans. And it's also important. Oh, we have a first crack. Yes, that's probably an outlier. So okay, but we're really getting some nice color here. It's windy. Chaffs are still escaping. But normally to get a good roast, oh, we're getting some escaping beans. Normally to get a good roast, you would want most of the cracking happening at the same time. So we're kind of starting to see. Whoa! Okay, that's definitely a crack. Okay, so, but still kind of an outlier. Where is the peloton coming? When will we have most cracks? Okay. Or are we only baking the beans? Okay, we're getting some other cracks. Yeah. Yeah, still some cracking. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now this is getting into a nice sequence of cracks. Cracker the crack. Come on, guys. You can do it. Give us some good, equally roasted coffee. So I'm going to aim when I hope I'm able to understand when the first crack should have finished for most of them. Because I'm already starting to pick up a little bit of the. So I think now the cracking is finished. I'm going to just turn it off quickly. Still some. Okay, and quickly get it in here. And now we're cooling the beans. Yeah, you can really feel the heat. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now the question is, how much weight did we lose? So you can see here the beans. And we're left with 42 grams. Of course, we had some jumping beans, so it's a little bit tricky to know exactly what percentage of vapor loss we had. It smells a little bit. A small burning sense one can perceive, but I must say for this first experiment I am quite proud. The follow-up to this video, of course, will be having a taste. So see you next time. I do feel guilty about not having read the manual on screen just before I did the experiment. I have functioned as a fire warden before, and safety is not to be joked about. So let's have a look at the most important sections of the manual. Dit apparaat is niet bedoeld voor gebruik door personen, inclusief kinderen, met beperkte fysieke, sensorische of mentale capaciteiten of gebrek aan ervaring en kennis, tenzij ze onder toezicht staan of instructies hebben gekregen over het gebruik van het apparaat door een persoon die verantwoordelijk is voor hun veiligheid. Questo elettrodomestico non è destinato all'uso da parte di persone, inclusi bambini, con capacità fisiche, sensoriali o mentali ridotte o mancanza di esperienza e conoscenza, a meno che non siano sotto supervisione o abbiano ricevuto istruzioni sull'uso dell'apparecchio da parte di una persona responsabile della loro sicurezza. This appliance is not intended for use by persons, including children, with reduced physical, sensory, or mental capabilities or lack of experience and knowledge, unless they are under supervision or have been given instructions concerning the use of the appliance by a person responsible for their safety. Cet appareil n'est pas destiné à être utilisé par des personnes, y compris des enfants, ayant des capacités physiques, sensorielles ou mentales réduites ou manquant d'expérience et de connaissances, à moins qu'elles ne soient sous surveillance ou aient reçu des instructions concernant l'utilisation de l'appareil par une personne responsable de leur sécurité. Este aparato no está diseñado para ser utilizado por personas, incluidos niños, con capacidades físicas, sensoriales ou mentales reduzidas ou falta de experiência e conhecimento, a menos que estén bajo supervisión o hayan recibido instrucciones sobre el uso del aparato por parte de una persona responsable de su seguridad. Dieses Gerät ist nicht für den Gebrauch durch Personen, einschließlich Kinder, mit eingeschränkten körperlichen, sensorischen oder geistigen Fähigkeiten oder mangelnden Erfahrungen und Kenntnissen bestimmt, es sei denn, sie stehen unter Aufsicht oder wurden von einer verantwortlichen Person in Bezug auf die Verwendung des Geräts instruiert ihre Sicherheit. So I think this is quite clear. If you didn't understand this in at least 2 of the languages, you shouldn't repeat this experiment at home. So the good news is even people from the UK, as the fragment was like just somewhere in the middle, so still a few languages after that, and if you understood that it was the same fragment, even without understanding the specific meaning, I think you would qualify in doing these experiments, but under your own responsibility. Thank you for being careful.